Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your hosts, Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you cry, you like our takes, you hate our takes, whatever you want to do. And you can tell us about it. Email us at the email box, number 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com, and we will respond to you. And
We will.
thank you for little tease here, what they call it in the biz, a little tease. We had somebody create a song, so we have breaking news. We have some jangle stuff happening a little bit later in the show. So thanks for emailing the show. Thanks for giving us that out. There will be a prize given to that person who we'll talk about later. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, just this audio that came through, found out about what website it is. You can go down a rabbit hole pretty quick on a free studio to create music. But yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, we're good. It's blazing hot here. I don't know. The summer needs to end. Does anybody ever say that the summer needs to end when it's triple digits at 9:00 at night?
Everybody says it. Everybody complains about the weather, regardless whether it's cold or hot or indifferent. But one thing you will never hear my wife complain about is summer being over. She loves the sun and the heat, and she would take it all the time.
Yeah, I get it. She hasn't been in the Midwest.
I tell her that, but yeah, so we'll.
No, I know. One day we'll get her here. Well, we had some bad news. You didn't make it to the Midwest.
No, I didn't.
Wah. I don't even know if I have a wah. Do I even have a wah? No, doesn't sound like it. I don't think I load wah-wahs. But yes,
I thought mine was pretty good.
Actually, no. Oh yeah, yours is right here. I forgot when you said, yeah, mine was pretty good. And I remember that we had uploaded audio one time, and that was your noise for a couple episodes. I don't know if you really liked it or not, but
well, it was when I wasn't on the show, and you were
correct.
Sad that I wasn't here.
Yeah, so we did have the wah-wahs. So yeah, you weren't here in Lincoln. Nobody was except for me. Little family emergency. Everybody's doing well. We don't have permissions unless you want to give it, but everybody's doing well. Everything is okay. It's just something came up out of the blue, and life happens.
Well, and there are people that listen to the show that care about my family, so I mean, we can share a little bit with what's going on. But yeah, we're planning to go and team up with my dad and brother and Justin and I in Lincoln, and my brother Brady is spending the summer with some well-deserved sabbatical time, and so he's trying to enjoy that and use it to the best of his advantage, and that's what he should do. And so one of those things was to go on a little bit of a trip, guys trip, and it worked out, like we said last week, for Justin and his family to help get me there. And so that was the plan. But before that happened, a couple weeks before that happened, my mom, Mary, had surgery on her eye. She had a retina replaced, transplanted, and surgery went fine and went well. And not to go into any gory details, but there was part of the surgery that didn't take like it was supposed to. And so once Brady and my dad got to Nebraska, they found out when she went to her follow-up appointment that they were going to have to redo part of what they had done. So then that meant she was going to have to be on her back for 24 hours again, and didn't have the help because my dad was gone. So they drove back to Tulsa, and we canceled the trip. So
Cancel the private jet.
Yeah. So yes, Mom is doing fine. She's recovering. It's just taking longer than. I just talked to her today. She's doing well, so we can get that off of people's anxiety bingo card. She's doing well. here's a little bit of, I got a message from you, and then I got a message from my dad on the Thursday. So we were supposed to play golf on Thursday and Friday, the four of us. And for like, I don't think anybody would argue with what we did. Like, you still kept your schedule the same. I kept my days off and just kind of enjoyed a little staycation. Um, Played some video games with my boys, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I get a call from you, and I get a call from my dad that all three of you are still playing golf, but not together. And I'm sitting in my living room. I'm like, this is bogus. I didn't even get to play golf, and everybody else still got to play golf. So good for
Yeah.
you guys. Good for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And more about, you know, yeah, I had to keep the time off. I had worked extra hours to be able to get off. And when I looked at the calendar and still looked at the weather, I was like, it's too nice to give back these days and not be on the golf course. But yes, I got to go play golf with a buddy of mine that we hadn't golfed with all year. So that was nice. Got to play a nicer course in Ashland, Nebraska called Iron Horse. Um, did we did pretty well. I mean, I did well. I mean, well, here's the kicker: is you. I mean, you've been talking about your brother shooting really well, and your dad's, right. Your dad's an amazing golfer
So,
too.
so on
And then
so
I
on
sent my
Thursday,
score, and then you're just like, "Oh, here's a Trump. Here you go. Here's what they
yeah.
shot." I like.
Well, and
I'm so
and that's
so
why
glad
my
you did.
dad called that day. He called that day to
Yeah,
tell me that he beat Brady.
yeah.
And so, yeah, he's playing well. They're both playing well. You played well. Don't discredit your score. I mean, golf
No,
is
no,
a
no.
relative sport.
Yeah, and that's the thing is is a course that I usually only play scrambles in. So when you play scrambles, you feel like you're really doing good all the time. So when I stayed in the lower 80s, I was really happy. Felt pretty good about it, and then you just happened to send me a message about how your dad beat your brother, and then I was like, of all
Yeah.
days. But no, it was good. So yeah, I still got to play. I played Thursday and I played Friday. I went and played with my son on Saturday. And then we played in a scramble on Sunday that was like a reverse, or I don't know how they did this, but we were one stroke off from winning $600.
Wow.
So they didn't flight the scores. What they did that was unique, and I might steal this from somebody, but they paid out first place, second place, third place, fourth place, and they had 36 teams. They paid out 31st team, the 23rd team, the 19th team, and the 13th team. Okay? So if you came in that place, then you won money. So it's like random, you don't know if you're going to end up in 13th place or 19th or 23rd
Yeah.
or 31st. And they were paying, if you got 13th place, you got $700. If you were the 19th place, you got 600. If you're the 23rd team, you got 500. If you were the 31st team out of 36, because they doubled up every hole, you got $400. So we missed 13th place by one stroke. If we just didn't birdie our last hole on the par 3, we would have won. We would have won our money back and more. So
Wow.
we never win. I hadn't shared that news with you yet, but it was crazy. They've been doing this tournament through Cappy's Bar and Grill that's across the street here in Lincoln from our house or neighborhood, and this is the 31st year they've done it. Really well, I will say it's pretty well organized. Every hole, it was a really long day because you double up every hole, and then they closed the rest. They closed the bar and grill for the rest of the day for until evening, and you got to go there, and they had a huge taco spread and nachos. Um, yeah, it's actually I was fairly besides it being a really long day, it was like a perfect is like one of those scrambles that you got your pin prices done quick. You got your raffles done. They didn't let you buy raffles. They gave you raffle tickets as part of your entry. So it was a pretty decent day. So and it was also money to give back to. They did for behavioral health and alcohol treatment center. So they made a donation towards that too. So overall, it was a good day. It was fun. So
Nice.
yes, sorry that you weren't going to play on that one because you were going to leave by that point. But yeah, we all sent you scores or talked about golf, and you didn't get to play.
No,
But
like I said, it still was a good weekend.
yeah,
We had a lot of good things happen. Got some good family time in here, and uh, so that was good. Got to hang out with my kids a little bit, and so I was giving up a Saturday with my kids to go out there, and so I got that back, and so that was cool. And yeah, so Elliot was over, and then Ronnie was over on Saturday, and then Sunday Emma went to church with us, and then we went to a movie with the boys, and so it was a good weekend. All in
yeah,
all, we had a wedding. I got to go to the wedding that I was going to miss on Friday night, and that was really cool too. So, um, yeah, so it was a good time, and it was really cool because I got to share this story a little bit.
yeah,
There was the wedding. The person that was doing the wedding was a person that I had recruited and hired on at Church on the Hill to come be on staff with us after we got here, and they've since moved on as well. I won't go into those details. Um, but they, she was doing the wedding because she was the youth pastor at the time, and the bride and groom were in the youth group, and so they got to know her, and so they asked her to do the wedding, which I thought was really cool. So she came back for the wedding. She brought her husband with her, and he's a really great guy as well. And but we just didn't know how they were going to respond to us because we haven't talked to them since all the stuff went down with Heidi and I,
yeah,
and yet they were very heavily influenced by the staff after we left, and so it was really cool because we Heidi and I were helping with the wedding, and so we got there and we start doing stuff, and I see the husband come up, and he sees us, big old smile on his face, walks right up to us, greets us, handshake, would have hugged us if it was not awkward a little bit at first, and
yeah,
uh,
probably.
such such a good conversation. It was really good to see him, and then we got done with the wedding, and we're sitting in the reception and kind of waiting for dinner to start and all the stuff, and the wife, the person who did the wedding, she turned around. She was sitting right behind me, and she turns around and she stands up, gives me a big hug, and just we sat and talked for quite a while just about a lot of stuff. And so that was really cool to see them and get to talk to them and kind of clear the air and make, we're in more similar ways than we're not. And we kind of knew that from what we'd heard from our friend that was the parent of the bride. But
hmm
it's just really good when you see people that still live out what it means and what it looks like to be Jesus
Yeah,
in even in the places where they've had to receive grace in their own life and their own marriage, and yet they still give grace and they still give freely like Jesus would. And it was really good. It was really good to talk to them. It was really cool. This is going to sound like a brag, and I don't mean it that way. So if you know me, you know my heart. But in these places where I'm still like searching for purpose and trying to find, questioning a lot of these things, one of the things she said to me, she goes, as my husband and I were talking about everything that went down and just not knowing everything, but knowing enough,
yeah,
we both just looked at each other one night after they had left Church on the Hill and left McMinnville. They just said to each other, they're like, you know what? Without a doubt, no questions, if we were given the opportunity to work with BJ again, we would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
that just made me feel good. So shout out to them. I could probably mention them. I just don't want to get them in trouble. But yeah, they were. It was cool to reconnect with them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. No, that's cool because, yeah, like anybody that knows you or people getting to know you, for people who listen to the podcast for the first few times, or discovering us, so to speak, is that, yeah, I mean, once you get to know what you're about, and through this whole process, like you've talked about over and over, is nothing's ever changed. Like you've been the same person, and just when ugliness appears during situations, people, um, it sucks because then you're not really, you're not there to quote unquote defend, because sometimes having your silence is the best sometimes, and sometimes it also takes people to reach out to hear what's going on as well. So
Yeah, very true, very true. And some people take your silence as an admission of guilt when
the
it's not.
guilt,
It's
yeah, 100%.
it's rather the silence is you taking the high road and being the bigger person, because you're not going to sit there and lie or defame other people, and yet people just don't want to reach out and say anything, and they don't have to. And that's the other thing, we don't need to get into it today, but that's the thing we've come to realize. And people don't have to get dirty with you. They don't have to reach out. They don't have to
Yeah,
care. And their caring can be being silent on their end, and we have to extend grace to say that them not reaching out is their not their way of choosing a side, but rather their way of just kind of staying out of it. So um,
yeah.
that's good too.
I've had people in my past, um, relationships and stuff. Sometimes when you're doing, I've dealt with plenty of narcissists in my life, and sometimes when you're quiet, they don't know what to do, so they have to make things up or create an illusion of some sorts, and then later on you find out how that person is, and how their life is, and you're like, yeah, it's probably a good thing we moved on. So I don't know. I'm not perfect either, so.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
none of us are, and that's a valid point for sure. So
so, well, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. I think there's a lot of people who do listen and have followed your journey and conversations, or your little things that you drop about, things that have gone on, and these are those good moments and positives that people realize and look back, and they're like, you know, once they can, not so much admit or point fingers that you were wrong the whole time. It's just, hey, we got caught up, or I'm not talking about them, but just anybody. We get caught up in a situation. Dang, we probably should have realized it, but it tells you about the true person that you are. That someone's willing to say, even though whatever the perception was, you're still the same person. We could do
hmm
we could do life together again. We could work. We could do whatever it might be. So that's always awesome. But,
yeah, it is. It's good to know when people see you for who you really are, like you just said. So yeah, it's encouraging, it's confirming, and like I said to them, it means a lot, because that's exactly what we've seen even with our kids, and we just had this conversation with one of our daughters this weekend too, of, you know, we're going to remain consistent. We're going to continue to be who we are, and we're not going to be apologetic for that, because that's who we are. We have
mm-hmm.
apologized and owned our part in all of it, but at the same time, we're not going to apologize for being ourselves. So,
Yeah, nice. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that all worked out. I'm glad for everything, for what happened, of you not being here and being everything worked out, and especially with your mom's health and your mom's stuff, and your dad's sake, he was able to go out and beat Brady, and he didn't get in trouble for playing golf even locally. So we're good there.
yep,
At least
yep,
we think. I
all
don't know. I
good.
haven't heard from your dad lately. No, I'm just joking. So, Rod, check in. Blink twice if you need help. So, I'm just joking. All joking aside. But all right, man. What? So I know I've asked you this before. Um, is back in the day, you? I think you've told me that you never watched Conan O'Brien before, did you? Didn't really get into Conan.
I didn't. No, I didn't watch it. I was not a big fan, but you brought up this thing, and so I'm curious, and it'll be fun to go through this. So go right ahead.
Yeah, so Conan O'Brien, the other day I just had this aha moment that he used to have this skit called In the Year 2000 where him and Andy Richter used to do this in the year 2000, and I have a little audio clip to play of the intro piece. But they would give predictions, and I just figured we are 20, what, 5.5 years into 2000s, right? We're halfway. We're a little bit past halfway, if my math is right. So I went back and to see if I could find old clips or a list of everything they predicted. There was a lot of things that were related to certain topics, presidential stuff, and so the magic of AI is that you can throw that stuff out there and just like what things kind of relate or what things are kind of fun that you could still relate to today. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to go back and see what things in the year 2000 they were predicting and see if anything these would apply or see if it creates any conversations. And then I asked AI to use that concept and provide us with predictions for 2020, the rest of 2026 or 2027, which are quite entertaining. And then we'll talk about the sport ones at the end because we'll do this little format for the sports, and then we'll just get into our sports conversation real quick. Maybe we'll see how long this takes, and I'm not going to do the whole list. There's a lot. I went down the rabbit hole, so bear with me. So we got to give credit to the Conan O'Brien show. We don't want them to block us on our socials. So anyways, here's what the intro music sounded like. I think you remember this. Tell me if you do, but here it goes. In the year 2000.
Incline slope. I reviewed what happened the night before.
No, I don't remember this at all. Okay. So I'm just going off of what you wrote, and
you don't remember
we'll
this.
have some fun with it.
All right. In the year 2000, they predicted that Toll House packaged cookies will become so soft and chewy that people will no longer fear death. I think we've gotten to the point where we just eat cookie dough, right? Is that what that means?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, they have edible cookie dough now. Before, I remember my dad, when he would make cookies, he would always keep it in the fridge, and he would always, overnight before he made it, he'd always get it cool it down after work, and he would tell us that we could never eat it because he put eggs in it, and we get sick from it. It's probably what every parent said. So this one's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, I still think it's interesting that we argue that eggs can cause all that problem, and yet people eat raw eggs all the time.
Yeah, I think it might be just because I think some people think that the cookie dough just sits out versus just going back into the refrigerator, which is the better way. I think that might be the reason why. I don't know. But people cook eggs on concrete. Who knows? I don't know anymore. So let's see here. And the thing is every time they predicted, they always did the in the year 2000. I won't do that every time, but so a new type of dog will be developed, one that can eat peanut butter with ease. I thought that was. What about they predicted the stock market will crash again. This time it'll be on the couch of its old college roommate. So that
was true too. That happened. That's good. But so far they're 2 for 3. I don't think a dog can eat peanut butter yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Unless they give them some of that fake stuff because they're not allowed to have peanuts in school anymore. Maybe that changes the game. I don't know.
By fake stuff, do you mean Nutella?
No, no, not Nutella. Like, I don't know. My daughter Bree used to get peanut butter crackers for school, and we had to buy some type of weird tasting, I don't know what it was, but it didn't have peanuts in it, so she could have it at school. So, anyways, let's see here. Pop-Tarts will lose their popularity when they no longer just pop out of the toaster, but leap out, shake their fists, and in a voice choked with emotion remind us that they're still alive. Dang it, I'm still alive.
Yeah, people don't like, I think there's the two kinds of people in the world. There's people that like Pop-Tarts and people that don't.
No, I think there's two types of people in this world who are people who use the toaster to put the Pop-Tart in and ones that just eat it straight out of the package.
Well, that's probably true too, yeah. Or you can be like my nephew who put a Pop-Tart in the microwave for 30 minutes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Yeah, that probably cause some problems.
Yeah. I think my mom was watching him too, so she kind of got the blame for it. But instead of hitting the 30-second button,
yeah,
he typed in 30 and hit too many zeros. So.
Oh, I can only imagine what that smell was like.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of smells.
Oh.
The last one. Every product sold in America's grocery stores will be lemon scented, except for lemons.
Dude, this is totally true. Like,
yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you walk through there, you're like, you pick up like a lemon. You pick up anything, it doesn't smell like it because they put so much coating crap on it. Whatever.
So this is kind of funny too. We went to the fair a couple weeks ago. We talked about, and they have this real fruit lemonade stand. So it's like this guy's, and they put it in this little bucket container.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a vibe, and it's a thing, right? And so Abby wanted one, and so we're going to go over there. And so they have different flavors you can add to it, though. And you could choose your base, whether it's lemon or lime, and then you could add these other flavors. Well, Abby was like, you know what? I just want like a limeade, just a classic limeade instead of lemonade. And she tells the guy, I want to just do lime, just classic lime. And he's like, okay, and he chops a lemon in there. And so we're thinking, okay, maybe then the limes come after that. And nope, he totally misheard, and it was still lemon. Everything was lemon. So.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is popular. Our church property, or our church house, a farmer's market every other weekend, and the youth group does a lemonade stand. And you're right, the bucket they serve it in is like, you might as well just be a Home Depot bucket at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they charge an arm and a leg for it. And
what do they charge for it?
I don't think I'm gonna say probably $6 or $7. I say arm and a leg because I think that, back in the day, you could go to the neighborhood in the corner, somebody's making you a lemonade stand. So,
yeah, I mean, $6 or $7. You can't see me, but do the motion, Brenton. $6 or $7.
$6 or $7.
But that's not quite fair prices. Fair prices. We paid $9 for.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. It is a lot. The bucket is pretty big, and when it's hot, I get it. Fill it up with ice, top it off. It'll keep it cool.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I can get that. I can get behind that. So those are some fun ones that I found from the year 2000. That's kind of still in the year 2000. That's still kind of maybe hit home a little bit. So in that spirit, I went through and I can't remember if you're seeing the whole list of things. I'm not going to read all of them or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought there were some funny ones. I don't know if you had one that you wanted to read that you thought might be relative that I think is kind of funny, but did you have one that you wanted to start with that you could throw out there?
I think this one's pretty funny just because I work from home a little bit too, but
Oh,
it's
yes, I love this one.
yeah, the work from home movement will evolve into work from your neighbor's guest room because you're tired of seeing your own walls.
Yes, 100%.
And
I laughed so hard when I read that one. I was like, this is totally true for a lot of people.
well,
Totally
I'm thinking
true.
about that like coming out of COVID when everybody worked remotely for a while, and you do get tired of seeing your own walls, your own
Yeah,
people, your own faces, and you want to just get
yeah.
out and see other people. So yeah,
That's why those, after COVID, I think a lot of those, or at least around here, there was there was like these little pop-in offices that were like a little development would have like 20 little individual offices that people could pop into to work from.
yep, yep.
Those became popular for a little bit. I don't know if they still are around very much anymore, but it makes sense. So, but yeah, what was another one I saw? Let's see here. Um, let's see here. Oh, so I like this one. So every movie released in 2026 or in 2027 will be a reboot of a cartoon from 1984, but with fewer colors. I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
funny because literally every movie that seems like it's coming out, except for like Marvel, I mean, it's all this. It's a reboot of
yeah.
potentially
There's
an original. So
there's nothing new under the sun, so just keep doing the same thing over and over and
that's,
over. It's the same thing with style, and I mean, we talk about that with clothes with the girls, and
yeah,
Heidi's been talking about that. She's big on just a classic style that never gets out of date. And I'm like, that's why I don't have to change the way I dress. I mean, I get to wear this. It's funny because when all the retro T-shirts and stuff came back out, and my son would go to these vintage T-shirt shops and pay $45 for this T-shirt that I bought at Walmart for $5 back in 1996, and it's like vintage and retro now, and it's like you got to be kidding me. That thing was not that way. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think
yeah.
I like
This
this one. I
Go
like this
ahead,
one because we made a big deal about this. Like if you had cable
oh,
back in the day, you
dude, you're
you get
reading my mind.
you would get so mad because you're like, I just want to be able to watch the shows I want to watch. I don't want to pay for channels I don't need. And so then we're like, if they could just make something where I could just choose what I want to watch. And so then we get into streaming. So here's what it says. Here's 20 predictions for the year 2026. Streaming services will finally consolidate into one single app that costs $400 a month and only contains 1990s infomercials. Perfect.
Yes. You're like, sign
Perfect.
me up. Sign me.
Yeah.
Which this one I literally was getting ready to say because I was bringing up on my phone a link that I sent to my buddy, and it is called bingeblockbuster.net. And so what this is an app that, or a website, I'm not going down that rabbit hole, is that you can link all your streaming services into like one platform so you don't have to open up every single one of them. So the fact
Well,
that
I
that
mean,
came up
yeah,
on that list that I ran through AI, and then I literally just sent this message to somebody on Sunday at midnight to be exact, and it was called bingeblockbuster.net, and all it is all your webs or all your streaming services are in one location instead of having to go open up a bunch of different apps or get out of one and get another one. So I when you went to this one, this literally was on my next one to talk about. So, but yeah, that was yeah. But containing only 90s infomercials, 100%. The
yeah,
amount of times
yeah.
that we would fall asleep and wake up to the worship CD one that would all the worship music one that you could go, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they had like the Christian music one, the Sham Wow guy. I think that was back in the day.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Man, I can't remember some others, but there's always, it seems like it always was the same ones all the time, and they paid for the spot. So I guess that was. Um, let's see here, and I think this kind of already happens, but water will become so expensive that fancy hydration will be a new status symbol. Bottled tap water with a picture of a mountain on a label, and it'll cost you $50. That's already happening. That's been happening for
Yeah,
a while. I don't know
yeah.
about $50, but you go to any
I
sporting
mean,
event,
yep, yep. Or the fair. Yeah,
or the
yeah.
or the fair, yeah. So,
So yeah,
um,
let's move down to the next one because I thought this one was really good. This is kind of intuitive based on what Conan's list was too. But here's a new prediction: a new type
yeah,
of dog will be developed, one that can eat peanut butter with ease. So
I thought that
yeah,
was funny too. That it was in both. Oh
good
my
job,
gosh.
AI.
Yeah, AI is funny. And the other one that I did, they broke it down into science and nature. And one of them that I laughed really hard was that magic markers will smell worse than they actually are. I, I thought that was funny too. Um, or that was pop culture and everyday life. Sorry. Uh,
Yeah,
oh, we
I,
talked about this when you were in South Carolina for your work trip about hurricanes when you were uh, I think we talked about our most scared or most times, a weather event or whatever.
yeah,
This one was this tired and frustrated and out of ideas. Hurricanes just finally decide to give up.
that would be
They're tired of
okay.
all the
Yeah,
names.
yeah. Yeah, everybody's tired of their name being labeled a
I
hurricane.
know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's true. I like
no,
this one. It's back up in that other list, but your
yeah.
this has happened. Your refrigerator becomes a life coach, locking the door and playing motivational podcasts whenever you try to get a midnight snack. That's true. Yeah.
Dude, the other one I was going to read was, let's see here. Scientists confirm a smart refrigerator will be or has been quietly texting the toaster behind everyone's back
Yeah.
because they're
Or
talking
the
about it on the podcast.
washer and dryer.
Ear washer. Oh man. Someone was telling me about their smart washer and dryer that they can control and see like the status. I when they told me that, I was like, you need a washer and dryer? You need to see the app to see if it's running? I was like, what have we gone to? But whatever. I guess
Yeah.
I'm just not with it. To me, just give me an old school washer and dryer. I don't need that fancy stuff because even if it gets done, I'm not at home to take it out. So what's it really matter?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And here's a good one. I'm not in the dating world anymore, and I said I was so thankful that I didn't have to. I got to date one more person, and that was it. And I love that. And she's my person. But this one's really cool. A dating app that matches people based entirely on their phone's screen time report. I
Oh,
think that is genius because what causes so many different uncommunicated expectations are just a disaster waiting to happen. And one of those is screen time for sure. So I think that would be genius.
yeah.
But people would have to be honest and give it up and be like, hey, yeah, I like to sit on my phone and watch reels. You have a problem with that? Well, if you do, then you probably should go somewhere else.
Oh, let's see here. Let's see if there's anything else fun. We could jump down. I did to transition into sports. We'll kind of keep this going, but I also threw this in there and say, give us some predictions for sports and all these things. And then I got a couple of sports questions on some things that just happened recently. I'd be kind of curious to see what your opinions are. But let's see here. Did you already have one? Go
I'm
ahead.
just
You're
reading some of
already
these.
laughing. You're laughing.
So we talked about going to a baseball game a couple weeks ago as well, and we know Nolan's doing great in Double A, and that's really cool. But this says a minor league baseball team's promotional giveaway backfires when bobblehead of the umpire leads to a riot in Section 114. Oh, that's good. That's funny.
Oh, and and this is coming up for people. Fantasy football commissioner finally exposed for setting his own lineup a week late on purpose for 6 seasons, 6 straight seasons.
That's the one I was just reading. That's so good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I like this one. A golf tournament is disrupted when when drones delivering someone's DoorDash lands on the 18th hole. Someone's not at the Masters because they take your phone away, but I can see this happening. Like, I'm surprised that didn't happen on like a Happy Gilmore movie or something. So maybe so.
So this has already happened in F1, but this is what NASCAR announces an all-electric division, and fans boo the silence.
Boo the silence. Dude, yeah. I mean, F1, I mean, you still got some stuff, but yeah, it'd be interesting to go to an electric racing.
Yeah. It would be. I think it would be hard to sit there because of the humming.
Correct.
Instead of getting the loud and the smells, you get the humming that is just so annoying.
Well, when Brenton and I went to Kansas City a few weeks ago, we went to Andretti Racing, and it's all electric go-karts. And we talked about this because you told the story about Elliot doing all that. But yes, that's all it is you just hear you just hear that little hum noise from, or people crashing in the wall too. I mean, you hear that a lot. So
yeah.
We'll do this last one, and then I'll ask you about something. I like this. You can pick one too, but the one I'm going to pick is the Kentucky Derby introduces a horse wearing a smartwatch. It still just wants to run and eat grass. So he doesn't want to get out and get his steps in just today, even though he's got a watch that tells him. So I thought that was funny. So
that's good.
But
and this one, I mean, come down to instant replay and all the things. The tennis match is decided entirely by Hawkeye Review, with both players standing around watching a screen for 45 minutes. It's perfect.
Dude, that leads me into, you said watches the screen for 45 minutes, delays in sporting events, right? We've seen it, football can have, basketball sometimes can have it. A lot of places can. But I think it was Sunday night, or maybe just even last night. It was Monday night, so it was weird. It's Tuesday. Did you see the story or see the little clips or anything about the Red Sox and Blue Jays baseball game that had like a 16-minute delay because essentially everybody forgot how many outs there were? The scoreboard was wrong. Did you catch any of this information or anything? Were you able to? I mentioned to you earlier to see if you had caught a clip of it yet or anything. So, or do you need a little bit more backstory?
No, I guess I heard a little bit on a headline, but then what you told me. So, no, I don't know much about it, but I'm not surprised either. And this goes to my 2 cents on it. Well, go ahead and tell us the whole story if you're wanting.
Well, yeah, no. So what happened is in the top of the 7th, Toronto was leading, and they had runners on the corner with 1 out, but the scoreboard at the Rogers Center was just showing 2 instead of 1. So when they hit, there was a pop up, and they just ran it out. Everybody just ran it out. They thought it was a 3rd out, so they threw it back in and doubled up. But before that happened, the guy that got doubled up was the guy on first. The guy from third base had already made it home. So, in this weird twist of MLB's obscure like 4th out rule, that since they already crossed the plate first before that other mythical out or 4th out happened, the run still scored, which usually doesn't happen. And so it led. I mean, the Blue Jays ended up winning anyways, and Boston essentially got a free run out of it. Now, they did come back and say, hey, the scoreboard is not. That's just there for the fans. That's there as a courtesy so everybody can be on the same page. But actually, the umpires keep track of all this. So, but how that's communicated when you're out in the field sometimes, can get lost. And the scoreboards are so big nowadays. you almost have to think that that's right. So
Yeah.
but anyways, your opinion?
Well, I think it just goes back to like what we've said earlier about replay. I mean, I think what they've done in sports with replay is not a bad thing, because ultimately, and this is what you hear, the argument is now changing from whether replay is good or bad to whether or not you really want the right play called, right, or the right decision made, or do you want human error? And I think there's still a debate there to be had. So it's, I think replay getting the play call right is more important to the long term longevity of the game. But when you're talking about in the moment for fans and for players and teams, sometimes that human error element is pretty valuable.
Yeah.
But you can't deny the fact that baseball games have, in the time has decreased.
Yeah.
Tennis matches, same thing. I mean, what I don't like about replay is the fact in golf, like, people watching the telecast can go back and call the judges in, and somebody
Yep.
who doesn't know they made a penalty, because golf is such an individualized sport,
Yep.
and you're supposed to monitor yourself. That's part of the integrity of the game. But then somebody from Timbuktu can email in and say, "Hey, Johnny Smith tapped his ball on hole 6 when nobody was looking, and whether it was an accident or not, it doesn't matter. It's a 2-stroke penalty." And it's like, come on.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that is messed up. There's enough cameras and stuff out there, and enough officials, that to me it's like it's anytime you're on the golf course, you need to use that foot wedge, right? Like, doesn't matter. Just get out from the tree stump so you don't break your clubs. So that's just me. This is probably why
Yeah.
I'm not on. This is why I'm not a professional. That and skill, I think that's part of it for me. So,
Well,
uh,
speaking of skill, do you have more sports?
the the only thing I had, only because it's Little League World Series, and I don't know if this is where you're going or where you're going to ask, but and maybe have you heard anything? This is still going on. This Tulsa team that got disqualified, but then they filed an injunction or court order, and they were trying to get them to come back to be able to play the team that already won their West Texas region of the
Regional?
Little League World Series. Have you heard anything about this? Like, this is literally just like in the last 2 days. I think this has all happened.
Nope, nope. I haven't heard anything, but this is where my nephews play baseball at too.
Yeah, yeah. They had a kid that was ineligible. I think what I heard is that of age, or based off when his age or when he turned a certain age, that he played, and then they disqualified that team. They had a team from representing Texas West in Louisiana that went up against each other for the Southwest region, and then now they're like, oh, well, the team that won that game that's representing the Southwest region, oh, well, the court order says that uh, that this Tulsa team gets to play now, and so there's like this.
Oh,
Everybody
wow.
they filed like a 330-page emergency motion. I don't know about you. It's not an emergency if you're writing up something that's 330 pages. This tells me
That's probably
somebody.
true. That's longer than a book.
Yes, so that tells me, and from way afar, from not even being involved and not having kids and not understand, is that somebody knew if they got called out, they were ready for this. That
Yeah.
they were ready. Somebody knew that they were skirting the rules here a little bit, but I had checked this today, and they were still trying to decide if they were, as of like 1:30 today on Tuesday, it was still under debate. So I don't know what happens with it. So go check the news. I don't know. Go watch the little. Do you watch that every year, or when did you stop watching it, or did you never watch it?
I mean, I'll turn it on if it's on and I can't get anything else. There's times I'll watch it. I
Yeah.
don't like the Little League World Series that's put on TV because there's part of that game that is not real baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I had these discussions with Little League coaches in different places I've lived that were baseball players. Now, the league, Little League, this is what people don't know, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but the thing that you watch on TV with these 12 and under players, that's not how the really good teams in baseball at 12 and under are playing baseball.
Yeah.
And the little league as a league is not geared similar to like you see the Babe Ruth League or the Cal Ripken leagues. These other these other leagues that are actually at that age level, they should be playing a little bit bigger base paths. They should be leading off and stealing bases. And
Yeah.
the game you see on TV with ESPN in that certain league is not what most 12 and under ball players are playing in.
Yeah. That's so true. But I mean, it's gotten so popular with ESPN. They made so much money off it. Don't they even? Do they still do a major league game
Yep.
at the property?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Which that's pretty cool, and I love it for those kids. They get an opportunity to be on a big stage. I mean, you can't. I would never take that away from them. I just think the people that talk about that as being the best kind of baseball for those kids, that's just not true. When you're trying to play the game the way you're taught, and you're taught fundamentals, and you're taught how to advance and grow up into the game, to go and kind of put you're almost putting an anchor on these kids' development when you're making them play a game that's not baseball as they're going to see when they get to middle school and high school and they're trying to make their team. And now they're at a disadvantage because they were playing on these little kid rules, which they should have stopped playing at 10 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll add about baseball related is what to watch for in podcast land, and they'll replay it on Netflix and it'll be available. But the Field of Dreams game is coming up this week, and I guess it had taken a hiatus for a while, but it's making a comeback this year, and they'll be playing that out there in heaven, right? Isn't that what they say in the movie? Is this heaven? But I don't
In
know.
Iowa?
But yes, in Iowa. So, but one of the coolest moments for I saw this clip resent out is when they played that game in 2022 before the Reds and Cubs game. Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad came out of the cornfields, and
Yeah, I
Ken
saw
Griffey,
that.
he says, "Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?" I thought that was cool. That was a cool way to kind of set it off. So, I can't remember. Have you ever been to the Field of Dreams?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I always Brenton likes that movie would pop on TV, and Brenton like, we're watching it. He's like, restart it. Let's watch it from the beginning. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
cool. Yeah. Well, let's end the show with a listener that has helped us out by stepping up to the challenge we put out there. And
Yes.
I got an email about a week ago from somebody near and dear to my heart that said, "Hey, can you listen to this?" And it was a show song.
A full show song, which we didn't even get to it, but it could make an appearance. Could be. We might have to vote on it. I don't know. But it might become our song on our up and coming MySpace page.
There
So
you go.
MySpace is coming back. You better get on board. We're gonna do top 8s. We're gonna do music on there, even though I think. But yes, not to bury the lead. We did get an entry about the song, and at the end of the episode's gonna close, and we'll just get this whole song playing. So, yeah.
Yeah, so take a listen to the song. This is what AI did. Heidi Thelander created this, and she's like, I could do that. So she put it together and did it. Then she did some intros and some outros. I think you were going to play one of the shorter clips for us before we get to the end of the show.
I'm going to play a little 30-second clip because this is where my rabbit hole that I went down that we kind of talked about is I took Heidi's creation lyrically because I took AI and said, make us a song, but I said, take our YouTube page and take everything that you know from our episodes and create me a song. And some of the stuff kind of made sense and it didn't. Heidi took it even a step further, and she actually took keywords and built it from a keyword standpoint. And so her creation, we're going to play her whole thing at the end of the episode, but I'm going to play a little 30-second clip of what I call a remix. It's a lot of her lyric, some key points of her lyrics was something that I kind of took. So we're going to save the best for last for hers, but we're going to play this little 30-second clip, and then we're going to be done with the episode. So give it 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick and get this played.
Life in sports and questionable takes, dad jokes, deep talks, and hot debates. Justin and BJ are coming your way. If we forgot to tell you, hey, it hasn't been 3 days. Hey. Roll up, tune in, we're back again. Mike's hot vibe strong, let the show begin. Turn it up.
Now,
nice.
That was like a good intro music because the clip that we'll end the episode with is like a 2-minute full song, like a full song that she came up with. So we'll get that added at the end of the episode. So there's a little preview of something that if you want to be a producer, there's ways to do out there. We'll take some more entries. But yes, thank you, Heidi, for taking time to do that. I think she started working on that when she knew that you were going to be gone, and then she was like, "Oh, yeah, he's going to be here. I better get this done." I was going to have a surprise. I don't know. Maybe she's going to get a whole band together or something. I don't know. Anyways, now I know. But no, thank you, Heidi, for that. That was cool. She led me down a rabbit hole on a website that does this for free. Well, portions of it for free. We'll take a sponsor. And we could do more of these for fun.
Yeah.
Please don't. It's crazy. But anyways, BJ, thanks for your time. This week, anything going on? Anything special? Anything in your life going on?
I mean, yeah, I've got some personal things going on this week that are big for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like I told you, we're squeezing this episode in. I'm sitting in the church parking lot where I go to church right now because I've got a meeting for one of those things tonight. So yeah, some things are shaking out and it's been pretty cool. So I got a couple of those things going on. But yeah, pretty chill on the family front this weekend for me. Kids are going through some stuff, some changes this weekend, which will be good for them. But yeah, pretty normal, chill weekend for us. So what about you?
No golf on the schedule. So selfishly, we'll get that out of the way. No, but this is school starts for the kids on Thursday. Their first day of school is Thursday and Friday this upcoming. And then we have Brenton started football. He's got football every night, 4 days a week during the week. He gets Friday off in the weekend. And then he's still squeezing in archery. And so we're going to stay busy for a little bit. So other than that, church things. And now we're back to school, work, football. It's kind of what Embry works. So, we're hit and miss if we're in the house together for a couple hours. So, but all right, man. Well, thanks again. And have a good rest of the week. And everybody, hang out. You're going to hear the song at the end and we'll be good.
Yeah.
So, BJ.
Yeah. MVP listeners, thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in this week. And take a listen to the song. And we will see you next time.
Yep. See ya. Enjoy.
Life in sports and questionable takes. Dad jokes, deep talks, and hard debates. Justin and BJ are coming your way. If we forgot to tell you, hey, it hasn't been 3 days. We laughed, we cried, we made our case. We shook our fists all over the place. Come on back, we'll have more to say, but give us at least 3 days. Hasn't been 3 days. Hey! Life in sports, we ain't questionable.